I finally knitted my first piece of clothing. After years of knitting socks and scarves and hats, I finally did it. And although my new cardigan has some imperfections, I love it totally and I'm so proud of it. Everyone, for those who are new here, I'm Birgit from Koba.Siani, and normally I'm selling digital sewing patterns on different platforms. You'll find the shop links below this video here. Welcome to my channel, welcome to this new video here. I'm glad to have you here again. I've said sewing, not knitting, so for the experienced knitter this instruction may be a little bit weird. Of course I have another approach to this project, and this approach is clearly sewing based because this cardigan here is a pattern hack or something like that. My jacket pattern, Rebecca. I've literally taken the paper pattern of the jacket and tried to knit it the shape of these pattern pieces. Before I'm showing you in detail how I made the cardigan, I just wanted to know you that my knitting skills are really very basic. I can do a plain knit, I can do ribs, and I can add and reduce stitches, and that's practically all. But I know one thing or two about knitting because I worked as a knitwear fashion designer. But this knowledge is more theoretical because I only designed the pieces and I theoretically know how the machine knitting is done. But as machine knitting is a little bit different to hand knitting, this doesn't help me 100% when knitting things by hand. So I'm often trying to apply this knowledge, this theoretical machine knitting knowledge to the hand knitting, and sometimes it works and sometimes not at all. So every one of you watching who is an experienced knitter and who has some better ideas how to make the cardigan or see some points which can be improved, just share down below in the comments please. So the approach making this cardigan is not that typical. And I would say you could do this also as a beginner knitter. Just as an example, I will tell you now which yarn I used, and this is this wool yarn here from Schoppel Wolle. This is a small German wool brand. The yarn is called albmerino. And a cute detail is that the sheep for this wool yarn live in the Schwäbische Alb, which is right next to us here. The yarn is a felted yarn and is suitable for needles size 5 to 6 millimeter. I've used a 6 millimeter needle here. And for this color effect here on the bottoms, I've added one end of this fine mohair yarn, which is a basic yarn from Lana Grossa, called Mohair soft. But this yarn I've used is really only one of many examples. With my instruction here you are really totally free to use any yarn size, thickness and stitch type you would like to. Just go with that one which you like best. In the beginning, before starting with the knitting process, you should choose the stitch type which you would like to knit, the needle size and the type of trimmings. And for that I would suggest making a small swatch like this or a little bit bigger. This swatch will help you in 2 points. First, the outcome of the stitches in the yarn, so you will really see how it will look like, so you can better make the decision. And later it also helps you to calculate the stitch amount for the beginnings. So in my case I've decided to make a 1x1 rib here at the bottoms of the sleeve cuff and the hem here. And this 1x1 rib I've continued here all the way up at the neckline and the placket. And at the back neckline here I've sewn on later another 1x1 rib. Obviously I've chosen the short version with the deep V-neck, but of course you are free there to choose another version. So after you've done your trial swatches and made the decision decision about the stitches and everything, all the technical decisions. Let's start calculating. Here I've got my Rebecca paper pattern now, the front part, and I've already folded it the way I need it to be. And if you want to link on another trimming to the neckline, you should also fold here some width away, so you will calculate the correct width. At first I'm measuring now the bottom width of my paper pattern, and I note down this number here. Then I'm measuring the width of the trial swatch I've made, and I'm noting down this number too. Please write also down how many stitches wide your trial swatch is. So we've got the width of the paper pattern, the width of the trial swatch, and the amount of stitches you've used in the width of the trial swatch. And now I'm calculating. I'm dividing the width of the paper pattern at the bottom through the width of the trial swatch. And here I'm using this in centimeter, but you can also calculate in inch. It's the same calculation. And then I'm multiplying the result of this calculation by the number of stitches you used for the width of the trial swatch. So let me do that quickly on my calculator. And here we have the result, which is 48 something, but I'm rounding that up to 49, and this is my number of stitches I have to begin with for the front part. So you can see now with this calculation you are really very flexible, no matter which size you make for the jacket or the cardigan, no matter which stitch you use, no matter which yarn you use. I decided rather late to document the making of my cardigan with the camera, so the front parts are already done. All parts of the cardigan I made with the same technique. I began with the amount of stitches I've calculated before, and then started with my rib trimming. And then after some centimeters I've started to reduce stitches at the front neckline. At the same time I've added stitches on the other side of the pattern piece along the side seam. As you can see, the curve is not 100% perfect, but in this case for me that was okay, and the cardigan is fitting me. As I've already mentioned, I've knitted the 1x1 rib along the neckline. Besides the rib, I've knitted 2 stitches in a normal way, and after that I've reduced the stitches for the form. Along the side seam I've also knitted 2 stitches in the normal way before adding the stitches. Here I'm not that really satisfied with my knitting because, as you can see it here in the detailed view, I've ended up creating holes everywhere I added a stitch, but I just hoped that it will disappear in the seam later. So now let's get more into my method, how I copied the paper pattern. As I've already tried that out on the front pieces, it's already clear how to make the side seam, and I've noted that on the paper pattern, and I've already done that on the back part. What's new for me now is the back neckline, and this I'll show you now step by step. Here at that moment I've reached the point, the top point of the armhole here. So with the next row I'm already reducing at the sides some stitches. From now on I'll knit very slowly and control the shape after each row, because now I'm getting here into the neckline area. But while I could copy all other curves from the paper pattern, now at the back neckline, as I will add the rib later, I have to change a little bit, and that's what you see here. At the shoulder I've reduced the width of the neckline rib, which I will add later, and the new neckline curve goes from this point here at the center back, which is the original point, to the new point at the shoulder. So I've knitted one row now, followed my own instructions for the shoulder seam, how to reduce the stitches there. And now I want to know if I've reached the lowest point of the back neck, which wasn't the case yet, so I'm knitting another row. Then after one more row I've checked another time my pattern piece, and now I've reached that point, the lowest point of the back neckline in the center back. By the way, at the shoulders the same amount of stitches is already reduced, and now I have to find out the exact center of my knitted piece. So therefore I'm at first counting my stitches. Then I divide this number into 2 to have my center of the piece. This place, let it be a single stitch or a space in between 2 stitches, I'm marking with a simple paper clip. Then there's that space in the center back where the neckline curve is totally horizontal. So this space I'm also marking with another 2 paper clips at the left and at the right of the center paper clip. So in the following row I will knit, I will know that in between the outer paper clips I have to reduce all the needles in between. So in the next row, my thread is by the way here at this side here. I'm at first reducing the stitches how I need to at the shoulder. Then I'm reducing all the stitches in between the paper clips for the back neckline. And after that I'm continuing at the other side and only knitting this side of the shoulder and leaving the other side on the needles like that. So the right side of the shoulder I'll knit with a separate thread later. Okay, so now let's have a look on the result, and for that of course we have to flip the paper pattern around, and I'm putting my knitted back part on the paper pattern as I've did before, and I'm pushing the right side all to the right of the needle so that I can control the shape. As a next step I will knit 2 rows. In the first row I reduce the width at the shoulder as before, and in the second row back I will reduce a little bit at the neckline curve. And as the curve is slowly pointing upwards, I'm now reducing less and less needles in each row. So 2 rows later I'm again checking the shape, and in the next row I'm again reducing some stitches here at the shoulder as I've noted down before, and at the neckline I'm also reducing some stitches, but here I think I'll only reduce 3. Of course I have to take notes of how I made the shape of the neckline so that I can do the other side just in the same way. At the next set of 2 rows I'm again reducing my stitches at the shoulder seam as before, and at the neckline I'm only reducing 2 stitches so that the curve is pointing more upwards. And again I'm taking notes. After the next round I'm seeing now that I have only 8 stitches left, and that means that in the next row I'll reduce all stitches and this will be my last row. Okay, so that's how my back part looks now, and what I've learned here at the left shoulder I'm doing now exactly this in the same way at the right shoulder. Now only one part is missing, and that's the rib for the back neckline. The height I already know, that's what I've decided before. Now I'm trying to figure out the width of the rib. For that I'm just taking the rib at the bottom of my pattern piece and trying to put it in a nice way around the new curve of the back neckline. And like this I'm trying to estimate the width I will need. Of course, the back rib has to be stretched out while sewing it on the main part of the back, and I have to double the width as the paper pattern here is only the half of the back. After knitting that tiny back rib, I'm now finally threading in all the loose ends of my knitted pieces. Yay, I made it! And now I'm sewing together my pieces by hand, and I'm starting with the back rib. The edge where I've started knitting, which is a little bit shorter, is the one which has to point upwards later. And at first I'm fixing everything with pins, and then I'm sewing both together with the same thread I've used for the knitting.
To have a stitch which is a little bit elastic, I've used this stitch type. I don't know at all how it is called, but I go 2 steps forth and 1 step back. And this I'm repeating to create a line of stitching. Then I'm knotting and threading in the yarn's end. Then I'm continuing with the rest of the seams. That means here I'm doing and closing the shoulders first, and afterwards I'm sewing in the sleeves. That's the same order of working steps as for the normal Rebecca. And for all seams I'm using the same hand stitch type as I've shown you before on the rib. Then at last I'm closing the underarm seam and the side seam in 1 step.
And that's it, the jacket is ready! Thank you for watching my video, I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments below if this technique would be something for you. Or perhaps if you even have already a sewing pattern in mind which you can translate in a knitting pattern. If you want to see more from my side of my designs, of myself and what I make, you can follow me on social media. I'm mainly on Instagram, my handle is this one here, but I do also post on Facebook. The next freebie is right around the corner here, so I hope to see you very soon again in my next video. Take care until then, bye!